Hey, what's up everyone? Welcome back to the channel. In today's video, I've got another history of a zombies character video for you. And depending on when this gets posted, I might already have two videos in my history of characters series. Those being Addison Rosalind Wells and Zoey Necrodopolis. Now, some things I'm going to mention real quick here. First things first. Those of you who remember Zombies 2, at the end of the film, Zoe's seen with a brown werewolf girl who I don't think has a name in the credits, but doing some research and digging into her name is Wanda. Another character I'm going to mention who's not going to come up until later is Adrian Wells. All that you really need to know about Adrian right now is that he is the younger twin brother. He's an OC. He's an OC of mine who is the younger twin brother of Addison. I'll get more into... You know what? I'll get more into that later. I'm probably just going to make videos on, like, OCs and stuff. So that should be fun. Anyways, time to get on to Zoey. So... spoiler alert for Zombies 1, 2, and 3. And yeah, I guess I'm going to start with Zoey's childhood. So, like most of the characters in this franchise, there's either little to no information about Zoey's childhood, but it's not for the same reasons. Because the writers didn't want to give us childhood information about Zoey. It's actually because Zoey is still a child, technically speaking. So the events of the Zombies films is kind of like her childhood. So let's just get straight to it. Once you introduced to Zoey when Zed is downstairs out of his room talking about how unfair things are for zombies. One of the things being that zombies aren't allowed to have pets because the humans are scared that the zombies will eat the pets. That's not true, but hey, they don't know that. So anyways, Zoey's playing with a stuffed patchwork dog and is like, come on here, Xander. Zed shows up and he's like, bah, bah, bah. I go more into the whole dog, Zed acting like a dog thing in the Zed video, so check that out. Let's see. Okay, right. Then we see Zoey again when she's saying goodbye to her big brother. Zoey doesn't show up in the movie again after that until a nighttime scene where Bree and Addison are supposed to egg a zombie house. They don't go through with it. Zoey gets called inside. And then Zoey doesn't show up in the movie again until the cheer competition, where she's on stage cheering on Seabrook High, her big brother's high school, and takes part in the musical number cheer competition. During this musical number, she and Eliza go off to the side, and Zoey notices that Bucky is off by himself. So Zoey walks over to him and says, and they have a conversation, and I was like, they're good, right? Yeah. The only thing that Zoey says, the only thing that they're missing is the best cheerleader I've ever seen. And takes off the whistle that was given to Zoey before the musical number and gives it to Bucky. And Zoey says, you're good. Zoey goes, I know. And then the musical number happens, and Zoey is later seen getting a new pet dog at the end of the first movie. Now time for Zombies 2. In Zombies 2, Zoey is... honestly, she's just kind of there throughout the film. She is first seen at the beach with some human children who I think are her friend, but I don't know. Because Zoey's not the focus of the franchise. Anyways. Let's see. She and her big brother Zed go to Zombie Town or Froyo. She's seen in We Got This cheering on her big brother about the idea of Zed and Addison being on the prawn together. So cute. She even helps her big brother with her prawn ass. That doesn't go well. There's a crash. Honestly, a lot of the Zombies 2 stuff involving Zed, actually all the Zombies 2 stuff involving Zed, I've already covered in my Zed video. So jump to Seabrook City Hall, and everyone's talking about werewolves. Where Zoey's just like, "Hey, Dad, can I get a? I'm the only zombie in my class. Can I please get a werewolf friend?" Javon's like, "No, they're dangerous." That's up for debate. Anyway, the anti-monster laws get put back in place, and Zoey draws a picture of what she thinks the werewolves look like. Boy, is she wrong, let me tell you. And comes across Wyatt in disguise as a human. Zoey says some things that makes some comments that Little Red Riding Hood makes about the werewolf in disguise as Little Red's grandmother. I don't remember what the comments are off the top of my head, but she makes them. And then we don't see Zoey again until just before, like, the zombies do. Where she's like, "Oh, hi, werewolves!" And gets so cutesy. It's adorable. And then Zoey doesn't show up back in Zombies 2 until the end during a moment during One for All, where she is playing with a little brown werewolf girl named Wanda. I mentioned her at the beginning of the video. Again, keep her in mind. She'll be important for what I've got in mind. So, and then in Zombies 2, she's mostly just there to have a way for Eliza to interact with the plot, because her actress, Kelly Russell, was pregnant during the filming. I'll get more into how Eliza is incorporated into the plot of Zombies 3 when I do my Zombies 3 video, when I do my Eliza video, or you can find out by watching the video in which I talked about Zombies 3. I will include my playlist. I will be including my playlist of all my Zombies videos down in the description below. So if you like this video, you can check that out. Anyways, where was I? Oh yeah, right. After holding the tablet to have Eliza interact, Zoey doesn't show up again in the film until Exception to Zed, where she's like, "Yeah, my big brother would be a good fit for when I'm in college," and then she just disappears from the film. Until towards the end of the film, where she backs up her big brother and zombies out. Yeah. And when Zed turns around after turning back north, seeing a zombied out Zoey, he turns to her and says, "Whoa, you zombied out, are you okay?" Zoey turns to her and says, "Yeah. I don't know what you're playing, big brother, but I got your back." And then she's absent from the rest of the film. Now, she is mentioned in Zombies 4, but that's it. So now, let's talk about what I think is in her future. So I personally think that Zoey might end up being a lesbian or something. Like some part, mostly more so lesbian than any other part of the LGBT community, where girls, like two women can be together and it's just a part of the community. I think she ends up with Wanda, the werewolf girl I talked about. So, as she grows up and comes closer to Wanda, I think in my Zed video I said somewhere between the ages of 13 and 14, Wanda comes out to her father and brother. And Zed says, oh yeah, I kind of already known, because when you talk about Wanda, I see similar things in you that people have told me that I get when I talk about Addison. She cries tears of joy because her family is so accepting. And then a couple of weeks or months later, Zoe shows up to support Wanda, her girlfriend, when she comes out to her family. To both Wanda and Zoe's surprise, Willa, Wyatt, and her mom. Willa's the only one who kind of like knew, because like Zed, she saw similar things in Wanda that she sees in herself when talking about Aspen. So as time goes on, Zoe and Wanda get closer together. They fall in love. One day during a date during college, Wanda does a super romantic date and gives this long speech about how Zoe is the best thing that's ever happened to Wanda, and she wants to move the relationship to the next step. And she says it in perfect zombie. And she ends the big speech by getting down on one knee and saying, in zombie, Zoey Necrodopolis, will you marry me? Zoe obviously says yes, and they eventually get married. So what does Zoe's family look like after she and Wanda get married? Well, there's Wanda, there's Willa and Aspen as mother-in-laws for Wanda. Mother-in-laws for Zoe. There's also Danielle, Zelda, and Willow as nieces. Wyatt and Eliza become Zoe's brother and sister-in-law, and Emily and Luke become born and stuff, and become her niece and nephew. Now, the Zed side of Addison's story, the Zed side of Zoe's family looks like this. She's got Addison as a sister-in-law. She gets Katie, Audrey, Andrew, and Zach as nephews and nieces. Zoe has two kids of her own. They are twins. One is named Xander, either Necrodopolis or Likinson. The other is named either Susan Necrodopolis or Susan Likinson. I don't remember which one. I'll put that in a comment below. And they end up dating Jessica and Aiden Necrodopolis. Jessica and Aiden Wells. Jessica and Aiden are the son and daughter of Adrian and Jenny Wells. And yeah, that about does it for this video. Bye.